Okay. All right. Yay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Thank you guys for getting on tonight. I know this is not our usual weekly call, but I wanted to pull this out because Zoe so kindly offered to give us some of her wisdom that she has learned over the last 6 months on doing her business virtually. And I feel like that is a place that we really need to step up a little bit on our team. I feel like that's where the people are at. And so I wanted her to share. We talked earlier this week, and I know Zoe because the year that I was in Parade of Champions, she was too. So we became friends backstage. She was actually number 2 in the United States. So she had a rockin' business that year also, and it's just growing still. So she moved, I'm sure you'll tell everybody, but she moved recently across the country and had a baby this last year. And even with all of that going on, she managed to grow her business. She's taken it to the next level. So I wanted her to share with us tonight. So this is a lot of stuff that it's brand new to me too. So I'm like taking it all in. So thanks for getting on, you guys, tonight. And so I'm going to pin you so we can see your face. All right, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just love you, Bethany. And of course, I would share with your team because you've just poured so much into all of us in Arbonne too with all of your wisdom. So I love, and that's what I love too about Arbonne is this, we always pay it forward. We always help everybody out. So I just want to give you a little background on myself on social media. So like I had to learn everything as well. And it started, like Bethany said, I picked up and we moved from California to Texas June of last year. June 13th, we arrived in Texas. So we'll be still. And I was in my second trimester, pregnant with my third child. And, you know, just like picking up and moving, trying to get reestablished. I really was trying to not have my business be affected. And we say it all the time, like we have a virtual global business, right? And then I really wasn't virtual because I didn't know how to do it. And so luckily I have an amazing sister who is a direct RVP to me as well. And she lives in Denver. So she had picked up from California and moved to Denver too, about a year prior to me moving to Texas. So we both had relocated from our hometowns and our networks. And to be honest, I really went region with everybody within like a 20, 30 mile radius of me, you know, because I went to high school in that area. I went to college in that area. I had my first kids in that area. So I really didn't have to like learn more about social media until it came down to the wire that I had to move. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? So my sister is really good at research and she has like her master's degree and all these things. And I'm like a dance teacher. It's really funny. We have totally opposite backgrounds. So she started doing research on social media and her and I started enrolling in a whole bunch of classes and workshops. And she started coaching with like Tony Robbins people that were helping guide her. They work with other network marketing people and help guide them on virtual businesses as well and techniques and that kind of stuff. So we kind of started paving our own way and figuring this all out. So this isn't the end all be all, but we've been, you know, for a few months, we were trying to figure out what it looked like, how we could do this, how we can duplicate this down. And so we decided to like really launch it out and duplicate down. So my sister and I were kind of doing it, trying to figure out how this would all work for a few months leading into the new year. And then January came out and we like rolled it out across the, across my whole organization and her whole organization. And then, and so I went back and checked the numbers. My thing is I'm a dance, or I was a dance teacher. I'm a retired dance teacher. So I like at my Ben's party, I was like, I can count to 8 and that's about it, you know, just being silly. I mean, I really am smart, but I just say that. And so today I like looked at our numbers in January of 2017 to the end of May. Well, actually really April and May, we stayed the same in numbers, which is actually we grew a little tiny bit, but that's really awesome the month after GTC. And so I was like, husband, what was our growth rate once we started like rolling out social media to like our whole organization? And he was like, well, it's 100% growth. So I just want to share that with you, that if you get committed to it and you stick with it, in a matter of 4 months, we grew 100%. And my top leaders really like took off with this as well. So I know and are believing the same things for you guys in your businesses once you start to embrace this. So I'm just going to give a little disclaimer, and we do this with our whole organization too. The background with Arbonne is that we are a relationship business to help and serve others, and we're not salesy. So I'm sure you see other network marketing companies that do a lot online, but they're super salesy, right? And they add you to their groups without even asking. You're like, oh my gosh, I've been like 100 legging parties or jewelry parties. And you're like, how did this happen, right? So I feel that way. So make sure when you are starting to roll this out that you still make people feel special, right? It's still a belly-to-belly business, even though we're going virtual with it. So keep that in mind. So we are excited to be going virtual with our business, but it's our job as consultants to preserve the culture and ethics of Arbonne, okay, and what we stand for. So we want to keep our standards high and stand alone in this marketplace as professional businesswomen and men with these amazing products, right? We have something of value to share with the world. And this brings me into what is so appealing about social media and taking your business to social media. So like Bethany said, this is where the people are. The average American checks their phone and their social media accounts on average 17 times a day. So that's once an hour that they're awake, right? And we know some people that are way more, and like my mom who's in there, she's on social media every once in a while, right? But she still comments on all my pictures. So people are on social media, no matter if they're baby boomers, and then like my kid's 7 years old and he knows how to get on and hack my Facebook page, okay? So everybody is on social media. So you are your own spokesperson and you are your brand. You are your brand of Arbonne. So we teach our people that you are the brand and you use Arbonne to share your message to the world, okay? So really think about that as you're starting to go, as we're going through this and you're embracing social media a little bit more, and really start thinking about how are you gonna brand yourself. And I'll show you some examples of what some of the people on my team do. Let's see, so people are watching you. Even if you aren't getting the likes or the love that you think, and I'm sure you've seen it where you're like, I post pictures of my kids or your dog if you don't have kids or whatever, and you get like 200 likes, and then you post something about Arbonne and there's like only Arbonne consultants like it, right? It happens all the time. But I promise you those people are watching, because countless times, to me, this happens, and I know it happens to people in my organization. I'm so sure it happens to you too, that people will be like, hey, I saw your post about X, Y, and Z. And then I go back to that post and I'll look and I'll be like, they didn't even like that post, but now they're on my team because I posted this. So don't worry, people are watching. You're not annoying them, because we're going to get you in the right mindset of how to share Arbonne virtually without annoying people, okay? So, So you are worthy of your time. And we tell people that we work this business part-time, right? And, in the nooks and crannies of our days. So you can work this business so effectively through social media and through your posts and stuff like that, so that you really are working this part-time. Since this is where the people are, it literally takes about 2 minutes max per day to post an amazing post to reach thousands of people. Okay, so this is just an effective and efficient way of getting your message out to the world. And in your whys that, your whys are, mine are something about, helping other people get healthy and have the opportunities that I've had, or, paying this gift forward, as well as empowering women. My thing is I love to empower women and empower mommies, okay? So you can totally do that effectively without annoying people. So instead of telling people one by one what your vision is, what your why is, you can do that subconsciously by your posts, right? And when I do my posts, and I'll have you guys start following me and my sister and this other girl, Alex, on Instagram, and you can start to get a feel of what it's like to post without being like, so this is my why. I have 14 kids and I want to own a dog rescue and I want to go feed the homeless and I want to buy a new boat and I want to buy my parents a house, right? We're not going to do that all at one time on social media. We're going to take it bit by bit and share your why, a post every other day or something like that. But we're going to tell a story around each one of your whys so then people know why you're in business and why they should buy from you versus going to Whole Foods and buying Vega protein. Okay, so you're just gonna start planting seeds and really own your brand and share with people why you love to be in business and why you love to be an entrepreneur. So you're planting seeds and dripping on people even if they don't know it, okay? We call it like virtual seed planting, right? So I'm sure you've heard about it a million times in Arbonne, right? You plant seeds as you talk to people, but now you get to do it virtually. And it like spreads like wildfire to all of your friends, and they don't even know why they're attracted to your post or why they want to read more and more about your posts. Okay, so this is a good tip. If you are in personal development, and personal development is really big in our organization, I'm sure it is with you as well. If you are in personal development, then you will always have something to talk about on social media. Okay, so usually I get my inspiration about a quote or what I want to share with my world by what I'm reading that month, okay? And because usually in Arbonne, we're reading amazing books that are helping you develop into the person that you want to become. So why not like share your favorite part from your daily reading with the world and start helping people become better and think differently and have higher expectations for their life, okay? So that's a really great tip. You're never gonna run out of things to share with people if you're reading and doing personal development. Okay, so another thing, you have to be in the right mindset when you're posting on social media because it's new, right? You're making a change, you're trying something different, you're probably like, like I hate taking pictures of myself, or I don't want everybody knowing about my kids or where I'm at, whatever, or I don't want to be that annoying person on Facebook. But you are really doing people a disservice if you're not posting. Tons of people seriously need this information, right? People's lives, you've seen it over and over again, are seriously transformed through our 30 Days to Healthy Living, and then through our skincare, and then also through this business, right? So think of it like that. Switch what you're doing. Like, oh my gosh, I could so effectively help so many more people faster if I would start spreading my light on social media. And use social media for the positive, right? You don't need to get involved with all the negativity going on social media. Be that light that goes out and shares with people what your brand is all about and what the culture of Arbonne is all about. So I used to see people, I'm from the dance industry. Like I said, my sister was too. She was a Laker girl. So we see like a lot of girls that are like promoting themselves online. And we'd always be like, oh my gosh, look at Bethany posting another selfie of herself, right? Like, ugh, this girl, right? So that's how we used to think. But now we're like, oh my gosh, like they were sharing their message and we're sharing our message. And so it's not egotistic to share selfies or pictures of yourself or pictures of your family or anything like that. So if you're in that mindset, just flip it and don't think like that because it's silly, because people want to get to know you, okay? So you want to come from a place of service and know that somebody needs to hear your post today. So before we teach our teams, before you hit send or post or whatever, just like close your eyes and know, like, I can't wait to know who, or I don't even have to know. Sometimes I'm like, I can't wait for this message to impact somebody or make somebody's day happier or leave a little nugget inside some mom's head that maybe I should start taking better care of myself and I can start in the mornings or something like that, right? So just send positivity out when you click post and it's going to literally change your business from the inside out. So when, I want you to start thinking of this too. When you're like, what do I even start to post? Where do I start? So start with your whys and do daily posts or every other day, whatever you want to start doing, and start sharing your whys and why you're doing this business with your world. And then I want you to think that if somebody in your friends list is looking to have better health, I want them to come to you. I want them, whether they've liked anything ever on your page, I want them to think, oh my gosh, Jenny, I think she does this like clean eating thing. You know, maybe I should like go to her page and check it out. Because guess what, you guys, on Instagram, you know how you go to Google and you search things that you're looking for? Now, Instagram is the new Giggle is the new Google search, okay? So people go to Instagram to search hashtags on what to buy their dad for Father's Day, or what self-tanner do I use this summer? What's the best sunscreen? People search hashtags more than they do Google now. So you got to get on Instagram and start being that Google search that somebody sees, okay? And I also want you to think, is your social media account projecting that if somebody is looking to get out of their job, they're tired of being stuck in traffic, they want to come home to their kids, or they want to start a rescue or whatever, they're going to think, oh my gosh, I should totally go check out Zoe. She's always being so positive. I wonder what she's doing in her life, right? So those are the things that you want to start posting. And we tell our team to post 5 to 6 times a week. Okay. And that's because consistency is, you know, and when you're building an Arbonne business, consistency is key. And the same thing with social media. You want your message and your face to be popping up in people's social media feed every single day. Okay. So that's really, really important. And the other thing is help. You guys probably all know each other, whether you're direct sideline or you're in a direct leg, or you're all sideline sisters. You guys all kind of know each other, and I'm sure you're all friends with each other on Facebook and Instagram. So don't just like their posts, comment on their posts. So on Instagram, if you do 4 words or more, emojis don't count and like symbols don't count. If you do 4 words or more, it'll boost their Instagram post back up to the top. Facebook, there's not a certain amount of words you have to post, but if you write something, it boosts it back up to the top. And this is the best part, if you go live or you post a video or you do Lumiere or something like that, it shoots your post up to the top of the algorithm. So those are some things that you want to think about too, that you want to be at the top, the pop up when somebody opens up their Facebook feed. So help a sister out and comment on their Facebook post. It doesn't take more than 2 seconds, right? So we really like help support each other on getting our message out, because we know that likely that Susie that you've been dripping on forever isn't going to be like, oh my gosh, that protein looks so amazing, and then she's going to order it right there in your comments. No, right? It's just going to be a little seed that's planted in our head. So help each other out to boost each other's message to the world. Okay, so so many of us care what other people think. So don't worry about if like, oh my gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. Somebody's like coming to my front door right now. Anyway, this is kind of embarrassing. I don't know if I want to post this, or this is really bold. I'm not sure if I should post this. Don't care what other people think. If your heart is right, then you're coming from a place of service. It does not matter at all what you're posting. Okay, so we all know that we have this life of greatness that we're supposed to live out. And we all know that we have a purpose, and we can all see it. So when thoughts come to our head like, oh my God, Bethany is going to think that I'm just reaching out to her for another Arbonne party or event or shake or whatever, I want you to not think like that, because if you're posting and sharing your message every single day to the world, your friends are going to be intrigued and curious, and they're going to actually trust you because you're consistently posting the same message over and over again. And they're going to think of you as this health expert or this business boss babe, okay? So it just makes that like awkward moment of like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to her since 7th grade. There's no way I can reach out to her. Like, I have not talked to her at all. It bridges that gap because people are living your life with you. So think like the Kardashians, right? Like, don't worry, I don't watch them, but they are really popular because everybody feels like they're part of their life. So think the same thing, but with higher values, and you're sharing a better message with the world, okay? So let people be part of your life and part of your story. And literally, no joke, I use that 7th grade thing as an example, because I literally just reached out to my 7th grade best friend, And then in 8th grade, you know how you switch friends again? Well, at least I did. I switched to another bestie in 8th grade, and I didn't talk to this girl, Nicole, like all through high school. And I reached out to her about starting the 30-day detox. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've been watching your posts and la, 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 all these things. And she's never liked one thing, right? So I was like, ding, chalked that up as a win. She didn't join my detox until about 60 days later, but that's okay, right? Because you know that it takes on average 7 times when people hear the message before they purchase or they say yes, okay? So don't worry if it takes a long time to start to get these people, but if you're reaching out consistently, then it's just gonna be this snowball of people over time, and you're not gonna be able to, or you're gonna like, it's gonna be coming in so abundantly that you're like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing, and you're like keeping up with it all, okay? So my 7th grade friend starts the detox. Then Bethany's, I think you guys are starting to do virtual events. So we do 4 virtual healthy happy hours a month and 4 virtual Discover Our Bonds a month. So she literally had been on the detox for 7 days, and we had a virtual DA, and I invited her. She wanted to watch it, and she was like, yeah, of course. So she's like, but I'm working. She works at night. She's a nurse, but can I watch it when it's done? And this is what's so brilliant about Facebook, what are they called? Virtual events, is that you can invite people in your world to watch this, and you could have like 20 people on it just for yourself, and maybe only 5 of them watch it. 5 of them are working and go back and watch the recording, and then the others kind of trickle watch a little bit, whatever. But you're still getting this message out to the people, and you never even had to leave your house, okay? And she joined our business because of this virtual event. And I didn't even have to share the Arbonne story personally with her. I literally just shared a healthy happy hour event. I didn't do the healthy happy hour event. And then I think my sister did the Facebook Live Discover Arbonne event. She watched it and she joined our business. And so it's so amazing that you can use your sideline sisters and your organization, the people in your business, to share your gifts with the world, to impact people on your team. And it just becomes this ongoing like flow of people that are hearing the message faster. And you can literally be at the park with your kids, or you could be like the Discover Our Bonds that we do virtually. I'm usually in bed because I'm 2 hours ahead, and in my pajamas watching on my phone the virtual events go on, if I'm not hosting, obviously, but and then people are joining my team. So it's so nice because I don't have to drive 30 minutes or an hour to go to an event, set up, share the message, pack up product, do all these things, and then drive back home, and it's a 3-4 hour chunk of time out of your day. And now we work our business in 30-minute chunks. Our events don't go over 30 minutes. Okay. So I just kind of want to paint a picture of how like one event, how like posting and then getting her on a healthy happy hour and then getting her on a Discover Arbonne event, all in 30-minute chunks, how somebody is now building a business in our organization. So, and that happens so quickly. Let's see. Sorry, I'm totally got way off topic with that. But it's pretty amazing because you can, this is the other thing is we typically launch, right? Like 3 to 4, 1 to 4 people a month, and that fills our calendar, right? And then we're like booked. We're like, oh my gosh, I cannot possibly squeeze in 2 more people's launches because there's absolutely no more time in my calendar, right? But you could literally be launching like 10, 15 people direct to you in this business if you're doing them virtually, right? Because they're only done in 30-minute chunks. You don't have to leave your house, and you're still connecting with people personally, okay? Let's see. What other things do I need to tell you? Okay, let's shift gears and kind of talk about your overall brand, okay? So you're like, it's great. I need to post consistently about my whys, why I'm doing this business, and, share a little bit about why you're into health and wellness, that kind of stuff. But I'm going to share my screen really quickly so you can see some examples of like brand. Okay. Here's mine. So this is my Instagram. Can you see it, Bethany, or do I need to make it bigger? Okay, cool. So this is my Instagram, and then I share it directly to my Facebook page, right? So this is called, oh, I'm like pointing with my finger. Sorry. This is, it says Zoe Kinnee is my Instagram name, and then you can put something else here. So I do CEO Mommy because my brand is, I want to reach out to moms that want to like take control of their life. So you can literally be anything, and I really suggest, I'm going to give Bethany a list of questions to go through to kind of help you develop your brand, because we're kind of already at 30 minutes, but I'm going to keep sharing if that's okay, Bethany. Just tell me when to shut off. Okay, so like I say, believer wife, hashtag CEO Mommy, because that's my hashtag, holistic lifestyle expert, loves to educate, empower, equip women and families to live pure from the inside out. And then there's my other hashtag that I use. And then if you click this link, usually you can put your website, your Arbonne website right there. But I have a YouTube video that that I link in there. So if you record yourself doing a Discover Arbonne or whatever and put it on YouTube, you can put it right here in your Instagram, and people can click on that and boom, pops up, you're sharing the Arbonne opportunity right there with people. Okay, so that's really amazing. I have a YouTube video of my Ben's Bash. They made like a video, and so that's what people click on there. And our Instagrams are public, they're not private. So that's something too, because you want to get more followers and have a global business. So I do share pictures of my kids. You can kind of see them here, but I don't hashtag their names and I don't tag them in my Instagram because it is public, but it's totally up to you. I'm just a weirdo. So I need to stop share and then pull up another one so you can see it. So this is my sister. Oh no, where did it go? Well, let's pull up Alex. Can you see this, Bethany? Okay. Sometimes if you like switch to a different screen, you can't see it. Okay, so Alex is a mom too, but you can see that she has a totally different vibe and brand to her business. So she says she's a mom entrepreneur, that's like a tongue twister, plant-based foodie, yoga lover, and wifey, empowering others to step into their greatness. And then you see how she has her Arbonne website. Okay, so we're both moms, but we are branding ourselves differently. Okay, so that's really awesome. And then let's see where my sister's is. Close that, close that.
Oh, we just saw Heather, sorry.
Oh no.
That's okay.
Wait, you couldn't see Alex's, or you could see Heather's?
No, we saw Heather, but not Alex.
Oh, and I was reading about Alex, but
that's okay.
Awesome. Sorry, guys. I don't know which one pops up now. Does it say Heather or Alex?
Oh, it's still Heather.
Okay, well, I'll just read hers because you read Alex's. But so Heather, she is my sister. She doesn't have any kids, and so she's targeting a different audience. She says hers is like for the spiritual boss babe who is meant for greatness, plant-based vegan products for the fierce health nut, empowering and inspiring healthy bodies equals magic. Okay, so she has a totally different message and look too. So hers are black with gold, and that's like her thing. I'll try to pop up. Okay, let me try to pop up Alex's one more time so you can kind of see the look of hers. Open. There we go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So see how she has like a different vibe, Alex. So she's a foodie, and she did like white with black. She's more like modern. Mine's more like farmhouse. My sister's Gen Y, and she was like black and gold. Okay, so those type of things in branding, I will send like a questionnaire to Bethany, and you guys can kind of fill it out, and you can like walk yourself through it. But I'm sure you know what your favorite colors are. Some people on our team, they like to do like beach scenes, and then they put quotes, or you know, there's lots of different things that you can do. So find what inspires you and then share that with the world. So you want to pick like different themes or colors, or what colors inspire you. If you love yellow and you love sunsets and sunrises, great. That's your theme, and that's how you're sharing quotes and stuff like that with people, okay? Because I'm sure you see all the time when somebody comes out with something amazing with Arbonne, everyone shares the same thing over and over and over again, right? And sometimes, I don't know about you, I'll answer a question in a minute, Jenny. Like I'm mutual friends with a lot of people that do Arbonne with me, that we're mutual friends with people outside of Arbonne. And so they see us sharing the same thing. But if we change our background, then they're probably most likely going to read it twice. And now they have, you know, more nuggets in their head and more seeds planted. Jenny, you can totally unmute yourself. How do you get your standard backgrounds, or are you just finding random quotes with the right background? No, so we customize our backgrounds. So you just go Over or WordSwag are the apps that we use. So like Heather and Alex, theirs are just plain black and plain white. Or you can go to, like I made an album in my phone. I went and Googled image wood backgrounds, you know, or rustic wood, whatever you want. And then I just cropped them to a square, and then I saved them in an album that says quote backgrounds or whatever. And then when I go to Over or WordSwag, I just input the quote that I want on my backgrounds. Okay. So, you know, if it's beach scenes or whatever, save them to your phone in an album, and then they'll be ready to go right away all the time. So that's a little bit on branding, and you can see how different it is. And the thing is you're like, well, at first my sister and I were like, I don't want to like pigeonhole myself into only mommies or only like Gen Yers. But this is the thing is people are just, they're not confused on what your message is. And so they understand what you're talking about because it's consistent. And then I promise you, I sponsor people all the time that aren't moms, and my sister sponsors people all the time that are moms, right? So you're not pigeonholing yourself into one thing, but you're just getting clear and you're getting passionate about what really lights you up, and then you get excited about posting about that. And it also helps you get clear on what your focus is that you are going to share with other people, okay? Just another thing on your brand is be sure you're promoting and selling yourself, because Arbonne, people want to join your team. So much is not about Arbonne, but Arbonne is the byproduct, right? They're like, oh, sweet. And now these like plant-based products that are totally healthy with people is the byproduct of building this business, right? But people really want to follow you and where you're going and what your mission is. So be unique and share your gifts with the world. Okay, just now some little tips about your social media accounts is you want to make sure your headshot or your like picture on all your social media platforms are all the same. So whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, it's all the same. Again, consistency needs to be there because then people are clear on what your message is. So if you have like your pet or your kids right now, like people aren't going to join your Arbonne business because you have a really cute Frenchie bulldog, right? And also, when I'm looking for people on Instagram that I want to be friends with, I'm like, I don't even know what this girl looks like, or I don't know what she's all about. I'm not going to like add her because it's like some random picture. So make sure it's a picture of yourself. And then you know how you can add cover photos on Twitter or Facebook? I just really encourage you guys to take down anything that says Arbonne, because you're just scaring people away right away before they even understand why you're passionate about Arbonne, okay? So if you have anything on your cover photo that says Arbonne or has pictures of products or anything like that, take it down and share your lifestyle with people and what your mission statement is or what you feel is beautiful or what inspires you. Make those your cover photos, not an Arbonne logo or products, okay? Also the logo, if you put that as a cover photo, it screams like, I'm hunting you out because I want you to join my Arbonne team, versus being a farmer, right? So when we're farmers, we're out planting seeds, right? And then we're nourishing the seeds and all that kind of stuff. You know the story, right? And then, and then those seeds grow and then you harvest those seeds. But when you're like screaming Arbonne, people are already like, no, I don't want to know about your products, right? So really just come from a farmer mindset versus a hunter mindset. If you don't have a headshot, have your husband or have a friend, somebody take one for you. With our smartphones, you can literally have an amazing shot and add some filters and you look amazing. You're like beauty. Or I have another big tip is trade some Arbonne products with a photographer that you follow on Instagram in your area. So now you're going to get a new business builder or preferred client. You're going to have amazing headshots, and she's going to be on your products, right? And you get QB for that. So win-win for everything. So that's a good tip if you want some photos of yourself. Don't wait until you're a VP to do this. Start now, okay? Because it's like you just need to start sharing your message with the world now. Like we in our organization, we tell people, don't wait to give back until you're a VP, right? You want to start giving back now because that's the culture of Arbonne. So same thing. You want to start adding values to other and attracting people into your business now before you're a VP, okay? Excuse me, sorry. I'm like going on forever. I have like one more section about like how to enlarge your territory. Do you want me to keep going, Bethany, or you want me to? Yeah. Oh, sorry, my notes are covering here.
Please keep going. Go.
Okay. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Okay. So how to enlarge your territory with social media. So right now, especially with me, I'm like sweating because I'm like talking with my hands. Sorry. And the sun's going down, so it's getting darker. I was like feeling like when I moved that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody. It's going to take me forever to build a network out here in Texas. And I was really kind of stuck in that mindset all of summer of last year because I was like, I just really want new friends and I don't want them to know about Arbonne yet. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. It was really ridiculous, really. Start expanding your territory now using social media so that you don't ever get stuck in a rut, okay? Or you don't get stuck in that place of like, I don't know who else to talk to. I've literally asked everybody, right? No, there's so many people and you just have to start friending people on Facebook and Instagram. So message someone the day after you meet them. So what we teach in our organization is say, you go and buy a cute top from a boutique in your town, or you go on vacation, right? I love going. My sister's in Bali right now. She's like, I'm meeting all these people from all over the world and now they're friends with me on social media. So you want to take that personal belly to belly business right away to them and just like be friends with them right away. So no matter where you are, people nowadays will be like, oh, are you on Facebook or Instagram? They're like, yeah. Okay, here's my phone. You give them your phone, open up your app, and have them write their name in, okay? And then you're like, oh, perfect. I'll follow you back, whatever. It'll be so fun. And then what I do is I screenshot it because I forget people's names really quickly, and then they kind of just disappear into your friends list, and you're like, who was that person that I met at the ice cream shop? And then from there, we tell everybody to message them like that day or, the next morning or something like that and just be like, oh my gosh, Sarah, it was so nice to meet you at the ice cream shop. Your kids are so cute. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Whatever. Something just to like be nice and start that relationship. So you're taking away that time or that space in virtual reality that you're like, I friended this person, but now I have no connection. So you're making that connection through personal messaging them on that social media site. And then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that girl Zoe is so nice. And then they start scrolling through your social media page, ding, 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 right? And if you're consistent with your posts, they're going to be like, what is this healthy thing she's doing? Oh my gosh, I love her quotes. They're so positive, and then they're going to start to be attracted to you. And then they're going to ask questions. And then a few weeks later, you can invite them to one of your virtual events or one of the, if you're having an event at your house or something like that. And now you're into a whole new network of people that you would have never met because you just were friendly and you friended them on Facebook or your social media site. So be purposeful about building a virtual relationship with them. Okay, and these are some tips, and sometimes I feel like I'm like a stalker on building this personal relationship with people, but I promise you it works because in Texas, I started getting intentional in January, building my business, and now we have 13 people in my organization that are consultants building this business in Texas, in my hometown, and I'm like, so amazing. So start getting intentional and kind of stalkerish, you want to think of it like that, about, you know, liking their stuff and just commenting on their stuff and being part of what they're posting on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're like commenting on their life, like if they post a picture like what happened right now, graduation's going on, like my kindergartner just graduated, blah, blah, and you post a picture like, oh my gosh, Jacob is so cute, blah, blah, I can't wait till we can play again, right? So if you're commenting back and forth on each other's lives, it's not going to be so weird when you say like, hey girl, I'm doing this healthy living workshop, I'd love for you to come, we get to see each other again and hang out. And then she's like, okay, perfect, because she thinks that she's part of your life and you're part of her life, okay? And that's kind of the beauty of social media, is you can be part of people's lives and not have to see them in person, right? Let's see. So they're going to trust you more too, the more you're consistent with your posts and the more that you like their stuff and comment on their stuff. They're just, and people want to feel connected nowadays. So let them into your life and share and be part of their life. So the more that you're doing that, the more of the connection that you're going to get. Let's see. And that's literally, my sister and I have had people that we knew back in the day, you know, that literally started, like we started intentionally commenting on their stuff on social media, and then our stuff pops up in their feed, and they literally like, perfect, sign me up, and they give us their credit card through social media, and we don't even pick up the phone and talk to them, because they trust you, because you're part of their life and you open up your life on social media to them. And literally for like 2 months, we were all saying in our organization, we're like, nobody wants to talk to us, because we do everything like virtually now through text messages and private messages, that we're like, okay, perfect, I'm going to call you and get your credit card number. And they're like, no, here you go, blah, blah. And you're like, I just want to talk to somebody. Nobody wants to talk to me anymore, because they just trust you, and they're like, okay, perfect, I'm ready to go, you know? I guess that's a good problem to have, but it's pretty funny to see how it's all shifting as well. So this is a tip. Go through your friends list and start commenting and liking on posts of like your top 10 people that you want on your team, right? So it might be your top 10 that you originally had that still aren't part of your team, or a new group of people, right? So write those people down, and like tonight, maybe space it out a little bit. Tonight and tomorrow morning, do 5 and 5. Start commenting on like their top photos. Don't go scrolling down 3 months past and like comment on something, right? Because then that's definitely stalker status. But like their most recent posts, start commenting and like liking a few of them, and you're going to pop up in their feed tomorrow morning. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen any of Zoe's posts in a long time. I wonder what she's up to. So that's a little tip. So don't sit back and wait for people to start commenting on your stuff. Go out and start commenting on people's stuff. So what we say is like, don't wait for the flood to come to you. You go make it happen, and you go and connect with people that you haven't connected with. So when you give love, then you're going to get more love on your social media page. And then Facebook has this thing called Top 25. So you can go, you have to do it on your computer, not on your phone. And you can like request like the top 25 people that you want to pop up in your feed. Okay. So you can constantly be switching those 25 people that are seeing your posts pop up all the time. Isn't that pretty cool? So you can literally like, okay, June, I'm going to focus on these 25 people, and then 10 of them are on the detox with you, right? So then you're going to keep, you know, the other 15 and then pull in another 10 on your top 25. So that's pretty cool. And then you just click on turn your notifications on, and then so then when they post something, you're going to get a notification right away in your feed that somebody in your top 25 just posted something. So then you can go and like it and comment, right? So Facebook kind of does that work for us. So that's kind of fun to do. And that was a good reminder for me. I was looking at reading my notes, obviously, and I was like, oh, I should probably switch that around for myself. So it's a good thing I'm doing this training. So I know we've talked about this, but I seriously can't tell you how important it is that you start painting the vision of your brand, our business opportunity, and the products on social media. And by products, I mean, I'm so grateful, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that Arbonne gives us those stock photos of our products, but I promise you, people don't care. They want to know how you just found a new lipstick color and you're trying it out, right? They want to see a picture of you doing a selfie in your car with your kids or something funny, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this new pop of lipstick, blah, blah, blah. That's a product drop. That's a product touch, but with your lifestyle, right? So do things like that versus like, here's our new lipstick line, boom, right? You're just going to connect better with people because they're going to see you using the product everyday life, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, I can totally use Arbonne lipstick. It looks amazing on her, right? So do things like that. Let's see, talked about that. And then I know I'm just going to go over some quick like rules real quick because you guys are starting some virtual events, and I can't tell you how important it is that you guys as a team play on making these virtual events so amazing and the energy that comes out of these virtual events. So whoever's hosting, I'm sure Bethany's doing one of them, so I'm going to use her as an example. So she's going to be doing a live in your event, and I can't tell you how nerve-wracking it is. It's like, doesn't matter how many times I do them, I'm like, ah! Because here on like Zoom, I can see your faces and I know whether you guys are like talking or you're totally like off in a distance, and I'm like, I better bring up my energy level or whatever, right? But on Facebook Live, if you've done them before, you're just talking to a screen and you have no idea if anybody's hearing you or they like you or you're boring them or what. So it's so important that you guys as a team are pushing those love buttons and those like buttons and commenting on the comments. So when Bethany, I think are you doing healthy happy hours or DAs?
We're going to do two happy, healthy, 2 DAs.
Okay, perfect. So if you're doing a healthy happy hour, you guys, and she's sharing about like, okay, you guys are going to do no coffee for 30 days. And people are like, wow, right? Like, no way am I giving up coffee. Those of you that gave up coffee for 30 days, you're going to comment and be like, oh my gosh, I thought I never could give up coffee for 30 days. And it was the best thing I ever did. So grateful for my fizz, right? Something like that. Or if they're like, share your testimonial real quick, being like, oh my gosh, I was addicted to cheese. There was no way I was ever going to give it up. And now I don't even like the taste of it. You know, things like that. Whatever she's talking about during her healthy happy hour, you guys engage. And then you can even ask questions like, what's the one thing you guys would never give up? Right? Answer in there and people will post stuff. It's fun to like post emojis and like a bunch of fun stuff in the comments. So when you're done with your first virtual event, there should be over 100 comments. Okay? So make that your goal, that there's over 100 comments as a team. And that just means that you guys are bringing that energy level up. And I promise you it's so important because Bethany's going to be a lot more exciting when she's talking and a lot more engaging if you guys are showing love in the comments and you're engaging with people. And the other thing too is you want to keep these events like in 30 minutes because you don't want people to disengage, right? Because you're like, they're already like, I don't know if I want to do this detox thing, right? This girl's kind of crazy, whatever, right? So if you're keep it in 30 minutes. It's a long enough attention span, and they will most likely listen to most of the information, okay? So it's important that you guys as a team are answering any questions that people might have or stuff like that, so that Bethany can just focus on getting the information out for 30 minutes and she's not distracted by comments and like, so, you know, how many grams of protein are in those shakes, right? You guys can be like, oh my gosh, there's 20 grams, blah, 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 you know, commenting, and Bethany doesn't have to stall and answer questions, okay? So that's something that you guys can do as a team to help the energy of the event. The other thing is do not add people to the Facebook event until they say, yes, I would love to go to your healthy happy hour, or sure, you could add me. Right? So we really, like I started off the call, is preserving our culture of Arbonne. And so you guys got to do that. You got to help protect the culture of Arbonne and what we stand for, and not turn into like those other companies just add you to a bunch of groups and you're like, I have no idea how I got in here. Okay. So please do that, because otherwise we're going to turn into, you know, a company that we annoy everybody instead of it being something special that people get invited to and they say yes, okay? Because not everybody's timing is right now, but don't give up on them. I promise they're gonna get into one of your events one day, you know, very soon. If they say no the first time, don't worry. So even though we use social media to share our lifestyle, incorporating Arbonne, we don't use it to promote events. Right? So just like in Arbonne, we can't post sales or numbers or that kind of stuff. Like, please don't use it to post events, because the same reason why you don't, I'm sure you guys teach that you don't go mass invite people to your launch event, right? And you never reach out personally. So keep and preserve the culture of Arbonne and that belly to belly business, but then do it virtually. So really invite people. You can text them, but personally invite them, or pick up the phone and call them and invite them to your virtual event. And then when they say yes, add them, instead of saying like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend Bethany is hosting in a week, blah, blah, healthy happy hour. Let me know if you want to go, right? And you haven't personally invited anybody. So, and then it's getting closer to the event and you're like, oh my gosh, I have nobody coming. What am I going to do? I want at least like 3 people, so it counts like an event on my calendar. Then you personally send out invites, right? And then they're like, well, Naomi already posted this event was going on, and now she's inviting me, right? That's what people are going to be thinking. So personally invite people first. And then you can see like on my Instagram, when I do post events, it's literally 30 minutes before the event happens that I'll say like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go live on my page, something like that. Or I'll promote my sister or whoever's hosting the virtual event, but don't do it until like 30 minutes before. And this is another key thing that we learned, is if you promote it like 30 minutes before and you sent out like 30, 40 messages, those people that maybe haven't responded to you are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's right, I totally forgot to respond back to Naomi about that event. And then they go on Facebook Messenger and they respond back and be like, hey girl, I'm so sorry I didn't respond back. I totally want to be in that event. And it creates urgency. Okay, so that's something to think about. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but you can go back and watch the recording. Let's see, just be strategic about your posting and those type of things. So think more of like how I can create urgency with my posts and with these events and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that's about all that I have right now. But if you guys have any questions, I'm sure there's so much stuff that I didn't cover that I can help answer if anybody has any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Any specific questions? That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, of course. But yeah, so the biggest thing now is I'll send you over some questions that you guys can start to answer to help create your brand and help you think about things.
So, Zoe, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So do you suggest, like, say you work for a corporation and you have like a friend kind of social media site, and then you have another more business? Do you know what I mean? To try and, do you separate? How do you work that?
Yeah, hold on. I didn't realize it was like so dark. Hold on, let me turn my the sun like just dropped down. Okay. I do have a business page. Is that what you're talking about? A business page on Facebook and then your personal page?
Right.
I mean, my sister and I tried to really like boost our business page for a good like 60 days. We didn't really get anywhere, and we were like promoting, like paying for stuff. So we kind of shut down our business pages. Like sometimes I'll just click a button and it shares it directly to my business page. But honestly,
just personal life.
Yeah, just personal life. We don't really see much traction. And we like literally, because we were learning about it, right? So we're like, okay, let's focus on it for 60 days and see what happens. Nothing really, like we pay, I mean, it's not like we paid a lot of money to boost posts, like $5 here, $5 there, but I don't really see any traction on it. I do see some traction on Instagram if I boost a post on Instagram, like if I'm going live or something like that, and I'll get like, 5 to 10 people would be like, oh, add me, blah, blah. So I know then that works sometimes. But I know it's so hard because like, oh, I need a business page. But I promise you, the more you just incorporate your lifestyle with Arbonne, that it's just going to create a much more natural connection with people, and they just are gravitated towards you. And, you know, and people are like, oh my gosh, your skin looks so great.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like things like that. And you'll get private messages the more that you're consistent about this. So people won't comment that aren't on Arbonne most of the time, but you'll get private messages. You'll start to get private messages of people asking, but because they're too embarrassed to.
Right. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Well, no, I'm joking. Sorry. Any other questions?
Anybody else have anything? Pressing, urgent?
Oh my gosh, look at her.
I see you.
Supposed to be in bed. We're leaving at like 5 a.m.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh,
All
boy.
right. Well, if any other questions come up, of course, just ask me. Yay, and then I'll send over those questions for you guys. I'm so excited. You guys, this is gonna literally like change the amount of time that you're like, you know, running around town trying to get all, you know, these people to events and all this kind of stuff. So just embrace it, have fun with it, and I promise that the more consistent you guys are with it, it's just gonna like snowball super fast, like really fast. It's crazy. So
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time to spend with us tonight. Thank you so much.
all right, you guys, have a great week. And then you can follow us on Instagram so that you can kind of like see the stories and how they run and that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Bye.
Thanks, you guys. Good night.